Hey, it's Nick, and today I'm going to present a web application that I created using Java EE technologies. In the first presentation, we did an overview of the project and the dependencies that you'll need to have in place to be able to follow along in this project if you decided to download it and you want to actually test it out for yourself and see how things work. In this presentation and in the remaining presentations, I'm going to be presenting a use case and showing you, first demonstrating the use case using the web application, and then we're going to go into the code and trace it along and actually see how we implement the functionality in the code. So our first use case for this web application is a user registers for an account. So that's a pretty much an essential functionality that most web applications will need, and it's the first thing that I'm going to demonstrate for you. So this is the index.html. The same thing comes up if you just browse right to the web app, and we're going to call register. So that brings up a new page, and we're going to register for a new account. Okay, we got a invalid inputted value. So something went wrong here. We did not register successfully. Let's go look at Tomcat. And right away I'm seeing a couple errors here. Number format exception. So, okay, I know what that is. We cannot have an account. Accounts are numeric only. Cannot put in anything other than a numeric value for an account. So let's put in a new number here and see if that works. Alright, that one worked. It brought us to a new GSP page. It's welcoming me, and you can see I have no accounts associated with my login yet. But that is the end of the demonstrating the functionality in the web app. Now we're going to go in and actually look at the code to see how this is done. So let's start from the beginning, from index.html. The user clicked on the register link, which brought him to a register page, and this page just had a form on it. What we want to notice here is that the method was post for the form, and the action is register servlet. So register servlet is mapped to register servlet.java file, and indeed it is a servlet, and we're going to go look at that now. So we have a Java class here. We have the web servlet. We have its name is register servlet. So it's listening for anybody who calls it, like that form did. When that form called post register servlet, this servlet gets called, and we overrid the get method. It's not doing anything, but the post method is doing quite a few things. So when that form called post register servlet, this method gets called, and we get a HTTP servlet request object and a HTTP servlet response object, and this is how we're going to be passing information around. So this first object, the request object, is a representation of what the user has inputted. It's the info that comes from that form that called it. And we can grab that information by saying request.getParameter, and this is the name of the parameter on the form. So we're going to store this information first that the user sent to us. And this bit up here is just basically making sure that the user, that somebody isn't already logged in, and that the names or the IDs and the pins match up right. But what we really want is to get to this bit, because this is what takes care of creating a new account for us. So we have a little logic in here. First, we're going to make sure that their PIN or their password is longer than or at least 4 characters long. That's what this is saying. If it's not, it's going to throw an exception. And I'm handling a few exceptions here: number format exception, invalid user exception, and just general exception here. You can get very specific if you want. You could see when I first tested this application, we got brought up the invalid ID pin page, and we wrote out to the console that there was a number format exception, or we could see in the on the Tomcat server that we were getting the number format exception. That's how I realized that what the problem was. But you'd probably want to make this more user friendly, obviously, for your users, to give them better information. But anyway, what we're going to do is create a new user, and the user object is here. And you can see it takes in an ID, a PIN, first and last name, and we have some getters and setters in the user class. So we're going to create a new user from the information that person passed into us, and then we're going to connect to our database, and we're going to call the save user method in our database class to persist this user's information in our database. So let's go look at database, which is in our data layer, and we're looking for the save user method. It's right here. So you can see it takes in a user, and it's going to pass in the user's ID, first name, last name, a PIN, and an update. And these are prepared statements here. We'll go look at this in a second. Execute update is going to actually send the information to our MySQL. So we have mSaveUser. You can see that this is a prepared statement. And let's see, when we connect, when we called that connect method over in register servlet, it got everything all set up for us. So we set up the prepared statement with an insert user SQL, which is right here. So it takes in these 4 values that the user inputted plus the current system time. So all that is in place for us already when the user calls, when the user tries to save an account. So that's why this is set up like this. It takes in the ID, name, the PIN, and the date, and then it executes that prepared statement. And we'll catch an exception if there is any. But if there is no problem, then we should number one, we should see a greeting page like this, but we can also double check that MySQL did its job by just running a query. And that last, remember I put in 999 for the ID, and I put in my name for the first and last, and then this was the password that I put in, and you can see it was created on 12/15, which is today. So indeed, that part of the functionality is working as we expected. So thanks for watching, and in the next couple presentations I'll be going through a couple more use cases. Bye.